that song. Boom, boom, boom. When that beat drop, I love it. I love it. It makes me feel good inside. Hey, hey, financial besties. Happy Friday to you. How you doing? How you been? How you doing? How you been? If you're with me live, drop some money babies in the chat. Let me know where you are watching from. Where are you in the world? If you are on my side of the world, it's Saturday morning. So happy Saturday to you. If you are in the US, on the East Coast, Friday night, on the West Coast, Friday evening. Hello, hello to all of my financial besties. Let me get myself together. Y'all, I was up here jamming. That's my favorite song. My absolute favorite song. Anybody that knows me know how I get when a song I like that got a beat that makes me move, I get hooked on it and I listen to it over and over and over on repeat. Know every word. That's me right now with T.I. A couple of years ago, it was me and Usher. I was on an Usher kick. Right now, T.I. got me in the chokehold, y'all. I love it. I love it. But anyway, Black women, my sisters. How y'all doing? Who's with me tonight? Who's with me? Who's with me this Friday night? But if you are with me, I want to talk about something important in this video. I want to talk about something important. If you have been investing for years, but your account isn't growing as much as you expected, girl, you might be making a very, very common mistake. And I am seeing this more often. And I'm like, you know what? I got to talk about it. Because I consider this the worst investing mistake because it's costing you thousands of dollars. In fact, the most recent person that I talked to that has made this mistake, it's also impacting their retirement, the timing of their retirement, and the quality of their retirement because the mistake costs thousands of dollars. To be more specific, I had a client that was making this mistake before she met me, of course, and it led to a 6-figure setback. Yes, a 6-figure setback. I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm seeing this a little too much. I need to talk about this now. I need to talk about this because too many of my sisters are making this mistake. And you don't have to. So, in this live, I want to talk about this very, very common investing mistake. I want to show you the cost of making this mistake. We're going to pull up some calculators. We're going to do some demo using a calculator. I want to show you the cost of making this mistake. And I think the math will shock you. I really do. If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you because it was shocking to me. And it was shocking to this client too when I showed her. But of course, I'm also going to share how to fix it. But yeah, let me know who's with me tonight. Let me see. Say hello. Let me know where you are in the world. And drop some money babies in the chat. Drop some money babies in the chat. Hello, Miss Wise Words. Wise Words CK, how you doing? How you been? But I'll give y'all a little more time to come into the live chat. But we're going to talk about this investing mistake that is costing way too many Black women thousands and thousands of dollars. But the client that I worked with that was making this mistake, she had about $50,000 in a Roth IRA. And that Roth IRA was with her credit union. And she had this account for years. She had been adding money to it consistently for years. And she thought she was investing for retirement, but she wasn't. And it cost her more than she realized, having this Roth IRA with her credit union. And I'm explaining why. It's Wise Words in California. So not quite Friday night for you, Friday evening. Thank you for joining me. But anyway, during the initial call with this client, I talked to her about the types of financial institutions that we use for investing, and especially when investing for retirement. And because hers was with a credit union, I first had to explain to her that, first of all, a credit union, for those who don't know, I'm sure most of you know, it's a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative, if you will. And the institution provides services for its members, typically banking services such as your checking account, your savings account, loans, personal loans, car loans, credit cards, things like that, typical banking services. But the primary difference is, unlike banks, for-profit banks, credit unions are designed to serve their members rather than maximize profit for shareholders. So credit unions are usually preferred because they have lower fees. They offer lower interest rates on their loans. Sometimes they may have higher savings rates on savings accounts or CDs or money market accounts and things like that. But notice I didn't say anything about investments. Notice I did not say anything about investments. It's not to say credit unions don't offer investment features, but that is not what they're for. That's why I didn't say anything about investments, because financial institutions that offer banking services, with a bank account like a checking or savings, you put your money in, and that's it. That's all you got to do. All right. If it's a interest-bearing account, the credit union may pay you 1%, 2%, something like that, without you needing to do much of anything. I used to have, actually, I still have a relationship with my credit union back in the United States, but I primarily used them for loans when I was buying cars and getting a loan to buy a car. And I also used them for like the CD. Their CD rates were very competitive. But even when you put money into a CD, you put the money in, you don't have to do nothing else. Right? You don't have to do nothing else. When the CD expires, at most, the credit union will send you a notice via email or text or a letter in the mail, and they tell you what your options are, and they tell you what to do if you want to continue earning interest in that CD, right? That's what a credit union does, and that's all they do. But investing is different. Investing is different. Investing is a completely different ball of wax. So, for example, the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA is not an investment. The Roth IRA is simply a type of account, just like your checking account, your savings account, your CD account. It's just simply a type of account. It's not an investment. And it actually surprises me of the number of people that don't know that. People think, oh, I opened a Roth IRA, put some money in, and now I'm investing. You're not. A Roth IRA is simply an account, just like a savings account, a checking account. But the main difference is when you put money into a checking account, you know how the money just sits there and does nothing? When you put money into a savings account, the money just sits there, and depending on the interest rate, it might do a little bit of something. When you put your money into the Roth IRA, it's going to do the exact same thing if all you do is put your money in it, because that's just putting the money into the account. You understand? See where I'm going with this? And the unfortunate thing is when you open an investment account with the financial institution that is meant for banking purposes and not investing purposes, it's very easy to think that you treat the accounts exactly the same. Why else would you think you would do anything differently? You got a checking account, you put money in. You got a savings account, you put money in. You got a CD, you put money in. Why would you do anything different with the Roth IRA? If all of your accounts are with financial institutions that provide banking services. It makes sense to me. But I want to bridge the gap right now to help you understand why that's a problem. Right? Let's see who's joined me so far. Hey, Miss Lydia. Hey, Miss Faithful Jones. Thank you for sharing the money, babies. Thank you for sharing the money, babies. Wise words. The generation before me used to exclusively save in savings accounts, CDs, and U.S. bonds, and had no access to the brokerage accounts, funds, or institutions. Perhaps her financial education was limited. That is absolutely correct. And that is usually the case. Unfortunately, the only part where I will deviate from what you're saying is the generation before you. I don't know how old you are, but I'm assuming you are implying the generation before you, meaning they're an older person. No, this is not an elderly person. Of all the people that I have spoken to that make this mistake, some of them are seniors, but not all of them. But the reason is the same. It's not that they don't have access, their education is limited. So I definitely agree with you there. I certainly agree about the limited education. And if all of your financial habits, your financial processes are with banking institutions, you have no reason to believe that you're supposed to do something different. It's what you've been doing your whole life, what you've been taught to do, the same way you manage your checking account, your savings account. Why should your Roth IRA be any different unless you have the financial education? And that's what we do on this channel. Fortunately for you, that's what we do on this channel. But getting back to the client, she scheduled a clarity call first because she wanted to discuss this IRA with the credit union. She had been contributing to this IRA for years, at least 10 years for sure. And she contributed money into the IRA, and she watched her balance grow to $50,000. And she actually felt pretty good about it. That's the other problematic thing. When you are only accustomed to checking accounts and savings accounts and the small amount that an interest-bearing savings account can grow, you think that's all your money can do when it's in an account. So as she watched her account grow to about $50,000, she actually felt pretty good about it. The only reason why she scheduled a call, the only reason that made her think something was wrong is because she had been watching my videos and other finance videos that told her that her Roth IRA, or that any investment in the stock market, even when you're investing in a passive way, and broad-based index funds, for example, at minimum, your money should be growing by at least 8 to 10% per year. So when she heard that, and when she heard it from several sources, not just me, when she heard it from several sources, that's what made the warning bells go off in her mind and think like, wait a minute. I don't think my money been growing. This 10% y'all keep talking about. Right? So I don't think my money been growing that much. Even though it had been growing, and she was very proud of the growth. And frankly, what she was doing was better than most. So I wanted to make her give herself credit for that. I wanted to make her aware that she was being very financially responsible and attempting to plan for her future. For all intents and purposes, for what she knew, she was doing all the right things. Unfortunately, except that she wasn't. The money was just sitting there in cash. It was earning a little bit of interest, nowhere near enough interest to keep up with inflation. So she was losing money every month. And it certainly wasn't doing anything to help her prepare for retirement. It wasn't doing anything to help her prepare for retirement. And the worst part, and the reason why I call this the worst investing mistake, is because she had this account for so long and it wasn't doing anything. It defeats the whole purpose of the Roth IRA. The primary benefit of the Roth IRA is that your growth grows tax-free. The gains inside the account grow and compound tax-free. So for years, she had this account with these tax-free benefits and was not getting any access to these benefits. So much opportunity lost. And this is on top of the value lost because the money was sitting in cash and not growing, but inflation is increasing. And then on top of that, for years putting money in and it's not doing anything to help her prepare for retirement. It was just like a domino effect. And that's why I consider it the worst investing mistake. When you're using these financial institutions that are not meant for investing, and when you think you have a retirement account that's for investing and you're treating it like a bank account, like a checking account or savings account, you are missing out on thousands of dollars. And in this client's situation, almost 6 figures. A 6-figure setback. She was in her early 50s, so around my age, but she had been doing this for at least 10 years. So she probably opened the account in her 30s or early 40s. So for 10 years, she thought she was building this account for retirement. And she has 10 years of time lost. And when it comes to investing, time has even more value than the money that you put in. She has 10 years of time lost. 10 years of a bull market lost. 10 years of compounded growth lost. That's time she can never, ever get back. And once you lose compounded growth, that's growth that you can never duplicate because you've lost the time. This is the absolute worst investing mistake you can make. And I am seeing way too many Black women who are trying to be financially responsible, but making this exact mistake. And it blows my mind how many people I talk to that are doing it. I want to show you the math behind what this mistake actually cost her. Let me share my screen. Share my screen. Let's share my screen. Hey, Miss L. How you doing? How you been? Yes. Yes, wise words. It's a very common mistake. I did not realize how common it was until the latter part of last year. And now this year is come back to the forefront of my mind because I see it so often. And I was meaning to talk about it last year. Or I probably talked about it like in a general way and kind of glossed over it. But I was like, after this client, I was like, I need to make a video and dedicate the whole video to just this topic because we don't have time to waste. If you just started investing, let me take your comment off because I'm not talking to you specifically, but if you just started investing in your 40s, you don't have time to waste. If you are starting late, you need precision and accuracy as much as possible. Even if you have more money, it doesn't matter. You've already lost the time. So now you need to use your money as precisely as possible to try to make up for that time. But if you are not educating yourself to learn how to do it, you are doing yourself a disservice. It's going to delay your retirement because retirement is a number, not an age. But if you insist on retiring by a certain age and you don't have the money, it's going to severely impact the quality of your retirement. Solely because you're making this common mistake and you didn't take the time to learn how to do it properly. But I just want you to know an investment account like a Roth IRA is not the same as a checking account or a savings account. You do not treat them the same. You do not manage them the same. In fact, your Roth IRA shouldn't even be with the same financial institution where you have your checking account and your savings account. That's the first mistake. Financial institutions whose primary service they provide is checking, savings, and loans, they are not going to support your investments. They are not going to provide any educational material or tools or videos to help you learn how to invest properly. So you are going to be in that trap of all of these people making this common mistake, opening investment accounts and thinking, oh, I just do the same thing I do with my checking and savings account. I'm just going to put the money over here. You're making a grave mistake, a very expensive mistake. In fact, let me show you. I said I was going to share my screen. And I'll do that right now. Hold on. Okay. Oop, I hit the wrong button. All right. Let me share. Let me put it back up. Okay. This, can you all see my screen? Y'all see my screen? This is a compound interest calculator. I like using this calculator. This is a calculator on investor.gov. It's a calculator that's managed by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the same government agency that oversees the US stock market. All right. So there's lots of calculators out there. I like using this because it's a legitimate source and I know that the math will be accurate. So this is what I want to show you. I want to show you the math behind this mistake that you are making. So this client had $50,000. I'm going to put $50,000 in the initial investment. She had $50,000 in this Roth IRA. Let's say she adds nothing else, not another dollar. And she had this account for 10 years. So for length of time, I'm going to put in years. And because she was treating this account like a checking account or a savings account in a credit union, just the thought of it makes me angry that financial institutions don't provide the support that people who don't know, they don't provide the support to correct them. But anyway, she had this account for 10 years in a credit union. So let's say average savings account might earn 1%. Not a high yield savings account, just a regular savings account might earn 1%. So for the estimated interest rate, I'm going to put 1%. So if you have $50,000 that you have sitting in a financial institution that provides banking services, and you're treating your Roth IRA just like it's a regular savings account, in 10 years, I want to show you what you will have. In 10 years, that $50,000 will only be $55,000. Y'all see that? In 10 years, you will end up with roughly a little over $55,000. That's it. But if you were using a proper financial institution, if you educated yourself on how to invest, that same $50,000 invested properly, I'm going to go back to the same calculator, and I'm only going to change one metric, one data point. The same $50,000, the same period of time, 10 years. I'm going to change the estimated interest rate. Invested properly, getting the average return. I'm going to be modest and say the average return. You're not doing anything high risk to beat the market. You're not trading. You're not doing anything to get a really large return. You're just investing, doing basic investing, doing the bare minimum. But the difference is you're actually investing in the stock market because you've used a proper brokerage account that provides educational materials, or you've educated yourself through different methods, either books, YouTube videos, hiring a coach, taking a class, something. I'm going to show you the difference of what that $50,000 over the same period of time can get you when the money is invested properly. You see the difference? If that $50,000 she had was invested, she would have $130,000. The same $50,000 that she was putting in over the same period of time, 10 years, is a difference of $75,000. Let me double check my math. Treating it like a savings account, after 10 years, she only had $55,000. If it was invested properly, she would have had $130,000. That's a difference of $75,000. I ain't too good at mental math, but sometimes I get it right. That's a difference of $75,000. But here's the worst part. Here's the worst part, and why I say this is the worst investing mistake that you can make. Because that difference of $75,000, that growth in a Roth IRA is all tax free. So she missed out on $75,000 tax-free money by choosing to have her Roth IRA with the credit union and treating it like it was a regular bank account. $75,000 tax free. Gone. Because you can't get those 10 years back. Gone. This is the worst investing mistake that I have seen people make. And $75,000, that ain't no small rounding error. When we're talking about planning for retirement, $75,000 that continues to compound tax-free, that's a life-changing number that was never realized. Although the money was in the right type of account, she got that right. But she was never told what to do with it. She had the account with the financial institution that provided banking services. So she didn't know any different. She didn't know to do anything any differently than her checking account and her savings account. This is one of the most common mistake I see when it comes to investing. And I decided to do this video dedicated to this mistake because I see it way too often. Black women. Many of you are financially responsible. Not all of us out here struggling financially. We not all out here poor and struggling, regardless of what the media wants you to believe. Some of us are very, very comfortable. A lot of the ladies in my inner circle are very, very comfortable. So you're financially responsible. You've made all the right decisions. You've paid off your debt. You save. You have no credit card debt. You might still have mortgage debt, right? You're doing all the right things, but because no one has ever explained the difference between saving and investing or taught you how to invest properly, the wealth gap is still getting wider. So while more of us may be financially stable, while more of us may be financially secure, because we have a decent job, we have very little debt, we got some savings, the wealth gap is still getting wider due to the lack of understanding the investment side of financial literacy. Your brokerage account, how do I want to explain this? I want to paint the picture for you. Think of your brokerage account as like a grocery store, right? When you walk into the grocery store hungry, your hunger is not automatically satisfied just because you're in the grocery store, right? You still got to walk around the store and look at the options that are available. You still got to make a decision to choose what you want. Then you got to pick it up and you got to put the item in your cart. And then you got to push the cart over to the cash register and pay. There needs to be a transaction and pay and check out, right? Then you can take the food home and mix it up and do your thing and satisfy your hunger, right? Or it might be some fast food, you just open the package, you can satisfy your hunger, right? Your brokerage is the same thing. Your brokerage is just the grocery store. When you put your money in the account, it's just like you just walked into the grocery store. That's it. Putting your money into the account is just walking into the grocery store. You still have to know how to navigate the grocery store. You still have to know how to decide what you want to buy. You got to know what you're looking at. You can't look at the bread and think that's beef. You can't look at pork and think that's chicken. You have to know what you're looking at. And then you have to make a decision and choose what you want to invest in, right? And once you choose, you have to select it. You have to select it and put it in your grocery cart, right? And then you got to push your card over to the cash register and check out. You have to place the order, right? And then the investment becomes yours. Then the food becomes yours and you can eat. When the investment becomes yours and it starts compounding, then you can eat, right? Putting money into a Roth IRA that's with a financial institution that provides banking services is like walking into a grocery store. You might put some food in your cart, but you never check out. You never check out. And then in 10 years, you'll be like all of these ladies that I have the privilege of speaking with and correcting their mistake. But in 10 years, you will be like many of them before they met me. 10 years will go by and you'll wonder why you're still hungry. You'll wonder why you're not able to eat. You've been to the grocery store, but you're still hungry. That's because you didn't choose anything to buy and you didn't check out at the cash register and take it home. Does that analogy make sense? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? You're picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know. If it doesn't make sense, I can say it differently. I can think about thousands of different examples. Right? Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. Hey, Tanya. Thank you, sis. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Picking up what I'm putting down. Yes. Yes, wise words. It's a big lesson. It's a big lesson. It's a big lesson. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, Faithful Jones said that really makes a point. Putting values in the calculator really is more powerful teaching tool than just the words on the page. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to pull up the calculator one more time. Pull up the calculator one more time to show you something else. But once I helped her understand this mistake, hold on, my lips feeling a little dry. I forgot I didn't put my gloss on before I start talking. I need to get a sponsorship from a lip gloss company so I can put on some gloss every time I go live. I need one of these companies to sponsor me and send me some lip gloss because I'm running out. And where I am, I haven't been able to find my favorites. The favorites that I brought with me from the United States. So I need to find a new brand that's local that's just as moisturizing. My throat dry too, child. Y'all got me working. And my lips dry and my throat dry. Child. But what was I saying? What was I about to say? But I explained this to her and I showed her the numbers. I pulled up the calculator. I love the calculator. Once I helped her understand the mistake that she was making and what she was missing out on, she had a light bulb moment, of course. And she did decide to move her funds from the credit union to a reputable brokerage firm. But just moving the money is only the first step. Just moving the money is only the first step. You still need to learn how to invest the money. And here's what tripped me out. Here is what tripped me out with this particular client. This was before she officially became a client. Even after I had shown her what she had missed out on for 10 years. $75,000. She decided to move the money, but you still need to learn how to invest it. She wanted me to coach her and teach her how to invest. But yeah, y'all know my services ain't cheap. She didn't want to pay me to teach her how to invest. So I just left her with some gems and gave her some information and some resources that she can figure it out on her own. Good luck. Do you know she went on her merry little way for like almost 2 years, like a year and a half, almost 2 years. And then she came back. Already missed out on 10 years of compounded growth. $75,000 lost. So the money still sat in cash for another 2 years. When she came back and said, all right, I tried all these other ways, tried the DIY, even signed up for a little cheap course. She still didn't understand. So she came back and I welcomed her back. But first, I had to show her what that 2-year delay compounded to and cost her even more. Even if your numbers are not this big, even if you have not been making this mistake for 10 years, that's a long time. That's a long time to think you're investing and your money isn't doing anything. So I use this example just to show you the absolute worst case scenario that I've seen. But your situation may not be this bad, may not have been this long, or may not have been this much money. But the impact is the same. The impact is the same. A loss of compounded gains over time that you could never get back. And in an account whose sole purpose, in an account that has the sole purpose of providing a tax advantage that you are not accessing. And whatever your tax bracket is, add that loss on top of that. So by simply making this one mistake, it can result in a 6-figure setback. If you are over 40, this is not the time to be dragging your feet on investing, because time is the greatest advantage when you're investing. So this is not the time to continue dragging your feet and delaying your investing. And when you choose to start investing, you don't have the privilege of making expensive mistakes like a 20-year-old. You don't have the privilege of losing money because you got plenty of time on your side to make up for it. No. If you're over 40, every extra dollar you have needs to be working for you, and it should be working for you in the most efficient way possible. So if you don't learn anything else from me, if this is your first video, I just remembered I didn't do an introduction. So if this is your first video, you probably have no idea who I am or why you should even listen to me. I just realized that. But hey, girl, hey, my name is Malika. I'm an investor and a money coach. I built my own portfolio to multiple seven figures. Then I walked away from corporate America and retired early in my 40s. Now I live abroad on the passive income that my portfolio generates. And in my free time, I like to coach other Black women to help them do the same. But if you don't learn anything else from me, this is what I want you to take away from this conversation. The cost of not knowing is higher than the cost of learning. The cost of not knowing is always higher than the cost of learning. This client that I'm using as an example, she spent years thinking she was doing all the right things. She was responsible, financially responsible, saving, had no debt or very little debt. She thought she was on track, preparing for retirement, but she wasn't even close. She wasn't even close. She had discipline, but because she lacked the knowledge and she refused for a short period, once she was aware of the problem, she refused to pay for the right guidance. So she still didn't make any progress. And the error that she had been making for 10 years, it only compounded even more. But getting the right guidance, whether you choose to get that from a book, a course, or coaching, it can start moving you in the right direction, at least. But if you're over 40 or in your 50s, you don't have time on your side to waste more time trying to figure it out. Let someone that's already done it show you how to do it so you can get the results you want faster. Because either way, you're paying. But the cost of not knowing is more expensive than the cost of learning. Now, this client did eventually enroll in coaching. And what she walked away with boosted her confidence so much. Now she has the knowledge. Now she has an investing strategy. And she also has a plan to grow that portfolio properly with strategy, managing risk. So the value of learning has started compounding already. And it will continue to compound for the rest of her life. Her one-time investment in learning will give her a lifetime of returns in her portfolio. And she said to me, Malika, I'm so sorry for not listening to you 2 years ago. I wish I would have, because I didn't realize how simple this could be. She was so overwhelmed, thinking it would be way too hard, thinking investing was just not for her, and thinking she had already missed the boat. She had not. She just needed to learn how to do it properly. So if you have some account that is not growing, the money is just sitting there, you think you know what you're doing, but you're hearing all these finance people saying this is how much your portfolio should be growing, or this is how much my portfolio grew, and yours ain't doing nothing even remotely similar to that, because your money is in a savings account, a CD, a credit union, girl, or even in a 401k that you're afraid to look at because you don't know. You don't know what you own. You are missing out on gains because of lack of knowledge. But now that I've done this video, it's not lack of awareness. It's just lack of knowledge. Or you may be afraid to act because you think it's too hard, it's too complicated, or too overwhelming. But you don't have to guess. You don't have to figure things out on your own. You do need to invest the money. Letting it continue to sit dormant is not the right thing to do. You do need to move that account from the financial institution that's created for banking services and move it to a proper brokerage account. Right? There's a way to do that without triggering a tax event. But once you move that account, those funds need to be invested. And when you start investing, you need to invest with a strategy, and you need to manage risk. Right? This is what I teach my clients how to do and invest with ease. And the cohort that we just wrapped up in March, which, by the way, I owe y'all some content. I need to brag about my sisters. I need to brag about my new legacy wealth builders. In fact, I should probably invite one or two of them on the channel to talk about their money babies that they create now, talk about their portfolio and their experience learning from me. But this is exactly what I'm talking about here, is exactly what I do and Invest with Ease. And it's what I love to do. And I will likely do one more cohort this year. I'm thinking somewhere around the summertime. Don't ask me what month, because I don't know. But I'm thinking somewhere around the summertime. But I will definitely do one more cohort this year. So if you are interested in joining that cohort, if you are someone that identifies with this problem that I've been describing this whole video, if you see the impact of the compounding opportunity loss that you're experiencing by just letting your money sit idle, or by not investing properly with a strategy and managing risk. Saying that again makes me think of one of the clients that was in the most recent cohort. She was already investing. She already had a portfolio, but she didn't have a strategy, and she didn't know how to manage risk. Child. Sis said she had 84 84 stocks in her portfolio. I need to do a separate video to talk about her. I'll talk about her later. But she started with 84 stocks, just random, all over the place. By the time she left my program, she had a strategy and a plan, and she narrowed it down to 5 heavy hitters. And she was so happy. She was like, I'm a legacy wealth builder. I was like, yes, girl, yes, you are. But anyway, I'm going to do a separate video about her. But I will be doing another cohort sometime this summer. If you would like to be in that next cohort, you need to apply for Invest with Ease. Or if you want help right now, if you don't want to wait till summer, you can schedule a Wealth Clarity call. The link to both are in the description of the video. But if you apply to join the next cohort of Invest with Ease, you can get on the priority list of what I'm calling my summer wealth reset. We're going to have a summer wealth reset, ladies, and we going to get it together. By the end of the summer, you will be investing properly in the stock market with a strategy and managing risk, so that by the end of the year, you can see the money babies. You can see those money babies shaking and moving in that portfolio, and your money is not sitting idle for 10 years. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore. I'm so passionate about this. I get so animated when I'm talking about it because I meet so many Black women that are doing amazing things in their lives. They make really, really good money, but they don't know anything beyond how to make the money. And if that's you, you're exactly who I'm talking to. At some point, you're going to be tired. At some point, you ain't going to be able to do what you do right now to make the money, and your money should be able to take over and make money for you. But in order for that to happen, those are decisions you need to make right now while you're still active in your career or active in your business. These are decisions you need to make right now so that you have that runway, so you have that time on your side to start building up the compounding interest. It takes time for your money to start compounding. And baby, after about 5 to 10 years, that compound interest takes off so fast, your money start making more money than you have ever earned in a year working a 9 to 5, or that you have ever earned in a year from your business hustling and grinding 50, 60 hours a week trying to get your business off the ground. Your money will start making that amount or more for you, but you have to make those decisions today to create that runway, so that when you do decide, you know what, I'm tired of working, I'm tired of running this business, I'm ready to sell, I'm ready to hang up my hat. That's the decision I made almost 4 years ago. I said, you know what, I'm tired. But because I had that runway, my portfolio was giving me a return that was higher than the salary I was earning. But you have to make the decisions now to prepare for that time in the future when you decide, I'm done with this. I'm ready to chill. I'm ready to move to Bali and drink coconut water by the pool in my villa. Right? You need to make decisions now to prepare for that life that you want in the future. And that's what I do for my sisters, because we deserve to build wealth too. We are no longer in that generation that Wise Word mentioned where we don't have access to the proper accounts or we don't have access to the information. We have access. At this point in our lives, in the world that we live in today, you are choosing willful ignorance if you're not investing because you have access. You have access to the tools, you have access to the accounts, you have access to the resources, and you have access to people that can teach you. So if you choose to reject all of that, that is willful ignorance. But you have access. And if you are working a job or running a business and you're making at least 6 figures, there is no reason why you shouldn't be able to retire as a millionaire. And that does not require you to hustle and grind yourself into your grave or through your 70s. It's all about the decisions you make right now and what you choose to do with your money. But please, sis, don't let it sit in a credit union for 10 years. And you think you're investing, but you're really not. I want to resolve that right now in this video. So if you have any questions, let me know in the live chat. If you have any investing questions, or if you have any questions about my coaching program, Invest with Ease, let me know in the live chat and I will make some time to answer some questions before I log off. And let me know. Yes. Painful. Wise words. Painful. Yeah. Having $50,000 in an account that you think you're using to prepare for your retirement, and to find out after 10 years that the money ain't doing nothing, and that you could have had $130,000 instead of just $55,000. Yeah, that hurts. And then once you're aware of that, to continue to choose willful ignorance and let that loss continue to compound for another couple of years, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And you're right, Tanya. No, ma'am. My services are not free. Well, I give free education on YouTube. This is what I call my community service. This is the community service that I provide for free. But if you want actual strategy, you want me to look at your personal situation and provide personalized guidance, yeah, that's not free. That's not free. But I do provide community service for free. And I speak in a very general way to benefit the masses. But actual coaching that's tailored to you, that's unique to you, no, ma'am, that's going to cost you. That's going to cost you. But like I said, that one-time investment will return compounded gains for the rest of her life. She only paid me one time, but she will continue to benefit over and over for the rest of her life. And she's very happy now. She's very happy now. She just took the long road. She took the scenic route. She took the scenic route to get there, but she's very, very happy now. Thank you, wise words. You casting gems tonight. All right, ladies. Well, I don't see any questions. Let me scroll back. Do I see any cues? I'm planning next year is my last year. Okay, wise words. You're about to retire. I envision travel for fun, but I'm otherwise blank regarding my time. It's okay to have a blank slate. It's okay. You don't need to fill in your time with a whole bunch of different busy work. Child, when you finally retire, the first 6 months, your nervous system is just going to be trying to regulate. First 6 months, don't have any expectations of yourself. No, just let it be a blank slate. You just wake up every day and decide that day, what am I doing today? And some of those days you might be like, nothing. And that is perfectly okay. But congratulations to you on having only 1 year left, or this being your last year. Awesome, awesome. That's amazing. Hey, new bestie, new financial bestie in the house, middle child, 1080. I love to see new friends. I just happened to see you're live from watching a video on HSA accounts. Which investment would you recommend that can be made with those savings? First, welcome. Second, I don't make recommendations at all. Third, I am a money coach. I educate you, but I'm not your money coach. So for right now, the only content you will get from me is what you've already seen in that HSA video. But I do not give investing advice or make investing recommendations. I educate my clients so they can make informed decisions and independent investment choices. All right. But I think we are caught up, ladies. I answered all of your questions. This has been wonderful. Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining me. If you have not already, smash that like button. Smash that like button before you leave. Smash that. Yeah, I need to go now. I'm getting alerts. All right. Smash that like button before you leave. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be in the next cohort of Invest with Ease, go ahead and apply. Let's talk about your goals and what you want to accomplish. And you will be placed on my priority list so that when enrollment opens sometime this summer, you will get first dibs. All right. Thank you again. And on that note, I'm going to say bye for now.